All righty. We are going to be watching Bree and Kayla. They're doing a offense and defense drill. So one of them's working offense, one of them's working defense, which we'll get to. So it's not necessarily a sparring, it's just a drill. The other thing is I've got wicked bad bronchitis, so somewhere during this there might be an insane coughing fit. Keep that in mind. I'll try to mute myself if that's the case. The other thing, the Doberman's here, and he's might be barking here or there. All right, so those are your caveats. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Let's make this nice and big. All right, so we have Kayla in the red headgear and gray pants, and we'll have Bree in the red shirt. So the way it works, we've got Kayla on offense, Bree is on defense. You know what? So, I like that. Let me just take another look. See, right there, Bree, right there, what you were doing with the arm, you had the wedge out as you were moving, which is smart. Good angle. We don't want to leave it stiff out there. We want to sort of start, excuse me, we want to sort of start snake charmering a little bit out of a wedge. That way, a referee won't sort of call you on having a stiff arm, even though there was nowhere near a stiff arm. It's just good to keep that having a little bit of motion. And in this kind of freeze frame moment, you can see Kayla. Look at how your shoulders protecting your chin. That is a great position. That is an absolutely great position for your left shoulder to be to protect your chin. If a hook comes around, and it's not going to get over that shoulder. It's just a nice position. So let's watch that again. And Bree, watch what you're doing with that lead hand. See, I like that. What you can do, beautiful jab. Again, look at that. Again, sorry. What you can do with that is you can be physical and touch her. Touch, touch, touch. That's going to keep that arm from moving. By not doing a Shakur tap there, you're allowing Kayla to sort of get that jab off. And again, Kayla, look where that right hand is. Look where that jab is. This whole picture here is a picture perfect. This is how you throw jabs. That's just absolutely beautiful. That's just a great position. Very well done. I'm just going to go back. And Bree, I like the head movement here. I think is very good, and I like what you're doing here. You know, you're not just standing up straight. You're posturing. You know, you're making yourself into a little crouch. Again, what would have been helpful there, Bree, as she's coming in for you to jab the air. So I know you're on defense here. You can still feint. You could jab at the air. You could Crawford tap, punch her in the gloves. You can Shakur tap. You could tap the hand. You're allowing the space for her to enter, which is why and how she entered. See, there's nothing stopping her. Nothing stopping her. And even on the move, put something in between you. Even though you're on defense, you got to put something in between you and your opponent. And that's for everybody. We have to put stuff in between. Even there, boom, nice wedge block. See right there how that arm moved into that position? Aside from the actual wedge block, the arm moving into that position is important. Good. And the head movement was very good. Nice slip. Now you saw both hands went out, but the slip was nice. Just want to back that up again. Both hands went out, which is, and that's a habit we all do. You'll be able to correct that. But the slip was really nice, Bree. Beautiful slip left. Beautiful slip left. You did the right thing is to come back. We don't want to come back to center with just our face. We want to come back to center with something in the way. And once again, Kayla's ready to work, always. Kayla, this is very impressive. Your hands are never dropped or in a bad position. Let's back up a little bit and let's pay attention to if is that statement true or not. Let's watch. So let's watch the woman on offense. Let's watch Kayla. Kayla, nice feints. Again, great jabs, and hands are defensively responsible. And there's that hand from Breanna. Very nice. So let's back. I'm just gonna back up again. You know, I'm a I love defense, so I always start with defense. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't be paying attention to the offensive side of things. Anyway, all right. And Kayla, what you could be doing is you could also be doing a type of Shakur tap, jabbing at the glove, doing something with that lead hand to not, you know, just we're leaving space unoccupied. Right there, Brianna. Very, very good. We took it away a little quickly, but that's the right idea. And again, so for those watching, this is Brianna's like first time in headgear, and doing this type of work. So just really, really well done in terms of you finally using that lead hand to occupy space, to mess with her gloves. Good. So we got a little wild on the defense. The hands came down to here, and that's why we got hit. So let's just watch that again. Watch what you do with the hands. Too much. Just not like the too big a swing for the parry, then the a swing back, and then the hands dropped, and that's why we got hit. One more time. We're a little square here, and you can see we're leaning a little bit. It's hard to tell. I want to make sure that that head is behind the knee. I'm at a bad angle to decide that. Um, but again, you're both in some nice positions. Little stiff, but all the right stuff. Nice step to the right, and good. And on those steps to the right, I want to see we got to utilize the lead hand to keep. You know, it's we want to go to the right. Going to our left is going to their power side, but we're constantly leaving space unoccupied. But nice use of the feet, Bree. Feet look good, and nice feints. Kayla, good feints there. So you could see there's so much time this space remains open. And that is, I know I'm repetitive here, that can be problematic. There's nothing there's nothing inherently well no, I was gonna say there's nothing inherently wrong with having that space, but if the space is available, it's available for someone to take. And if we're not gonna take the space, then we're gonna occupy the space so that they can't take the space. Doesn't mean every second you have to have that hand out. You can't. But this is a long time. It's a long time here where the space is empty, and then it gets filled with offense, and we want to fill it with defense. I like the footwork, Bree. You get the right idea of you could see the inkling of you want to use that lead hand. A little wild on the parries. We got a little wild there, and that's why we got hit again. It's the same issue. See how that it gets a little too wild. There it is. Let's watch that again. Right there. Right there. Moving to the right and putting that hand there to just that's insurance. It's just that's what we it's that simple. It's simple. It's just you just put your hand out. And it's a simple tool that we just so many people don't use, and you could see what happens when you do use it. It's just it's insurance. You pretty much guarantee that jab's not punching you in the face. When if you're doing that, the jab's not coming to your face. Will it come down? Sure, it can come downstairs, but your midsection is further away.
10 seconds.
I like this ending. And look at that. Look at the distance that I like. That's really good distance. So we talk about distance managing. Rob and I were texting each other this morning a little bit about, we were talking about a Loesch drill. Long and short of it is the idea of we do Loesch, we do dot dot dot, we do things to stay out of range. So the idea of practicing Loesch while in range, you can Loesch in range, but the idea is to get out of range, to not get hit, to not be in a position to get hit. And so what I like here is I like the use of getting out of range. So we're in range, and then now dot dot dot, we're out of range. So just that was just very good. Um, Yeah. So that's basically just a real quick look at a simple drill of jab versus defense, and you can see there are different layers that you can add in. Um, like I always say, I never know how to end these things. It was just very good work from both ladies. Kayla, really excellent job at being defensively responsible, knowing nothing's coming back. See, Bree, sorry, overcommitted. Good moment to sort of end this here. All in all, very good round from both. I really liked Breanna. You really, especially at the end, started to really pick up on the footwork and the distance management. And Kayla, just excellent job staying defensively responsible with knowledge that nothing's coming back, but still being defensively responsible. Just excellent work from both. Good job, guys.